Alright. Back to business. We got some upgrade quests to do. Well, not like when you're doing hot and cold, but when you're going out and trying to find the locations. Because that's what took me the longest. The actual hot and cold part didn't take me that long, but finding the locations took forever. And that plays the normal chocobo music, the ukulele. Alright, what do you need this time, Nigel?
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back to the
When are you gonna give me your hat?
Vaguely. Is something wrong?
I'm afraid so. I was able to get...
You know, normally, I hate when games allow you to change the look of your character for the cutscenes, because it ends up just ruining the immersion. But in this instance, I really wish I could get this guy's hat and equip it, and it would be like in the cutscenes. Could you imagine? Like, like Clive is laying there holding Sid dying in his arms, and he's just wearing that hat.
Most of the Morganbeards to take root, but they rarely flower.
I think it would have made it more epic.
I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I believe I have a solution.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Morbles. I know, but hear me out.
I love how quick you said
Morbles
that.
are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by an abundance of nutrient-rich ether drawn from their environs. I believe that by grafting a Morble vine to a Morganbeard, the appendage's wealth of vigor-inducing nutrients might well stimulate the flower to bloom. The endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove the theory.
And all you need is a single vine from an ordinary Morble.
That is correct. A single vine. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. But, as luck would have it, a most extraordinary specimen is rumored to haunt the swamps.
See, now we're talking.
Why,
This is a side
notice
quest.
concerning this very creature was only recently posted on the hunt board.
How timely.
Now we're talking.
I shan't keep you any longer. I know you have much to do, as do I. Now, where did I put my watering can?
There's only been like 3 of these hunt side quest hybrids, but they've all been good. Imagine having a side quest where you fight a special version of a boss, and then the reward is an upgrade. This is the best side quest in the entire game, and it's not even close. Let's go this way.
Sid, heard you were in Canva fetching the other men.
Well, obviously I'm not now. Stupid.
Miss Shirley, how can we...
If Amber and the Lazarus...
I'm bored, go burr. I still think it would have been nice if these enemies just appeared on the... Oh, it's Carrot! Nice. If these hunts appeared on the board and you could do them, and then once you accepted that quest, Clive could just be like, oh, look, I already have it. You know? Instead of having to go over and talk to him, and then having to come over to the board, and then going... If you come across a red carrot protruding from the marshes of 3 reeds, do not attempt to pull it from the swampy soil. It is in truth another root vegetable entirely, an exotic species of Morble that uses a modified carrot-like vine as a lure to draw its prey close, before emerging from the earth and swallowing them whole. A cruel way for nature to turn these times of privation to her advantage. The Whispering Waters. I think that's where we fought the first one, isn't it? Hold on, let's accept these other quests.
All right, Clive.
August, that's this guy's name.
Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. Tough for that. Speaking of which, I'm actually a bit,
Worried about him. And you want my advice?
Afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring to say thank you. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn, thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl instead. Try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like that. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around, I thought maybe
I'd speak to him again. Well, I suppose there's no point leaving him to stew.
Cheers, Clive.
I'll be sure to pay him a visit as soon as I have a moment.
All right, I'll meet you by the forge then. You come along when you're ready.
Welcome back, Retro. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. We were talking about video games. We're looking at the most sold video games. Oh, this guy.
Can't kick this up much. Glory to Griga. There you are. And not a moment too soon.
What's happened?
Taya's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival of her latest patient, she's refused to stop, even for a moment. I've tried offering to see to him in her stead, but she won't hear of it. Clive, she hasn't left the infirmary in days. She's pushing herself too hard. And if she doesn't rest soon, will you talk to her? Order her to her chambers if that's what it takes. Because if she keeps this up, I fear the hideaway will be without its best physica before too long.
I know better than to order Taya to do anything. But I'll speak to her.
Thank you. I pray you have better luck than I did.
At least he's not whining about his abilities. He's actually being thoughtful.
Well, Taya, Rodriguez worried about you. And if what he says is true, then so am I. We all admire your dedication, but you do need to rest.
I will, when it's time. Until then, I'm staying put. We owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone who doesn't deserve to die alone. It won't be much longer. The crystal's curse has almost finished its work. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the agony of those last few hours.
How would tears help this man?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy. Alicia. It's the only thing strong enough.
You wouldn't, Taya. Surely. There must be something we can do for him.
Sometimes an easy death is the greatest kindness we can offer. You do well to remember that, Rodrigue.
I will. We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the draft if you can bring me what we're missing.
Just tell me what you need.
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Pass. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid contact with the tears. I'll make sure the other ingredients are ready before you return.
Thank you, Clive. I won't forget this.
I love how they're like, we're missing one ingredient. Oh, what's that? Oh, of course, the eyeball of a poisonous spider demon. Can be like, oh, yeah, we're just missing salt. We need some salt. That wouldn't be very video game of them.
Said it was an army of Akashi.
Bloody hell, Clive. Not this again. Ain't you got better things to do with your time?
That remains to be seen. August tells me he showed you a ring, and that the sight of it clearly upset you. Would you mind telling us why?
Come on, mate. Bottling it up ain't gonna help no one.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on Sleipnir, because on the one hand, I feel like it was very obvious he was willing to give his life for his king and for Ultima. So I'm not surprised that he was willing to give his life. But the way he did it felt more of a waste, given the build up to his character and like his own pride, you know? Like, I could see him dying, but not just trying to fight us and then dying. You know what I mean? Like, I could see him protecting the king and dying, or protecting Ultima and dying, or giving his life to give Ultima power, or something. Like, maybe if Ultima appeared and then he just like offed himself to for his power to be soaked up into Ultima or something like that. But just to fight us, to just die, and then his body does nothing, you know, just as like a test, when we've been tested plenty and they have plenty of demons to test us with as well. It does seem a bit pointless. Like, I think what would have worked better, and I don't know everything about Barnabas yet, so maybe this doesn't fit his character, but what would have worked better is if maybe we fought him and then Barnabas appeared, and then he was like, then like Barnabas like killed him and absorbed his power or something, and he like willingly let him, or something, you know, like something like that. Or like I said, I think what would have made more sense is if Ultima appeared and he like gave his power over to Ultima, because he's made it clear that he's like a steward for Ultima. He'll do anything for the new world. But yeah, like you said, it's a bit of a waste just to fight us and die and not accomplish anything, right? He seemed too prideful to just die for not benefiting Ultima in really any way other than testing us. But I don't really buy that, because they've tested me. Like, they know that he's Mythos already, and he's already defeated several icons, including Bahamut. I don't see how we need to be tested more, you know? Ultima already said he's Mythos, I want him as my vessel, and then he ordered Barnabas to cut all of our ties to consciousness so that he could take us over. So he's already sold that Clive's the one, right? So they don't need to test us anymore. So yeah, now that you bring that up, that's really bizarre that he would test us, because they already know, like, at this point, what is he testing, right? Doesn't make any sense. It feels like they had nothing left to do with the character, so they just were like, okay, fight him, and then he dies. Which is fine, but I wish it would have been done in a way like maybe Odin walks up and he's like, you're not worthy, and kills him or something. Like, use it to make Odin feel more evil, or to power up Odin, maybe like absorbs his power or something. Like, do something with him so that Odin looks cooler instead of just he dies, you know? I agree.
If it weren't a ring and it was something I said, then I'm sorry.
It was the ring, right? It brought back some unhappy memories, that's all. Memories better left forgotten.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn. But sometimes it helps to talk about them.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so hard to understand?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work of Zoltan. We apprenticed together, back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his the moment I saw it. Bastard's improved, though. More than I thought possible. That thing's a work of art.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, maybe. What's it matter to you?
It matters, because engraving metal's a nightmare, and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is, I couldn't make anything even half that detailed.
So what? You're an armorer, not a jeweler.
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe, and my swords keep you dangerous. As far as I'm concerned, every swing of my hammer's another blow struck in the name of our cause. So I put my heart and soul into my work. Because the curse breakers deserve better than second best. And I refuse to be shown up by the likes of Sultan.
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit? Learn his secret.
I doubt he'd be too happy to see me.
Then just this once. Make peace with being second best. Swallow your pride, and focus all your energies on the task at hand. Keeping the curse breakers armed and armored. Provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you can't, and it's going to distract you, we need to do something about it.
What'd you say, Blackthorn? You know he's right. And it's not like you'll be going alone.
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name is then? Zoltan, was it?
In Dravozd, my old village. He won't have left. He's the chief.
Dravozd, eh? That rings a bell. Not far from Tabor, right? Just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravozd as soon as you can, yeah? And I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold feet.
Good luck with that. I'll see you there.
From a communication perspective, it's really cool how he talked to Blackthorn there. He was like, I'm not going to go see him. And Clive's rebuttal was like, then settle for being second best, or if it's going to be a problem, then go see him. He gave him like an ultimatum of like, just basically what has to happen, which is a good way to talk to someone as thick-headed as Blackthorn, you know? Don't play to his emotion, play to what literally needs to happen, either A or B, you know? Let's see, what was this one? That's the tears. Back through the creepy town. How's it going, Dark? It's a great game. It has its flaws, but it's a good game. As a Final Fantasy, it's complicated. But I feel like there's... the good outweighs the bad. Is, I guess, the best way to put it. There are parts of this game that makes me feel like this is not... the parts that make Final Fantasy, a lot of that is missing here, and that's a shame. But there's enough good to outweigh the bad. The story alone carries it as a Final Fantasy, in my opinion. Oh, okay. Welcome back. I remember you. In a way, yeah. I wouldn't say it's one of the worst, but it definitely has its flaws, and especially in terms of being an RPG, it has a lot of flaws.
Rodriguez could have mentioned his spiders would be the size of curls.
In terms of lack of complexity, yes. But a game doesn't have to be complex to be good. If it's fun, it doesn't have to be complex. But yes, in terms of complexity and in terms of being an RPG, big yikes. Jaimundo yikes. But that's okay. doesn't bother me to the point where, like, I hate the game or anything. It just kind of makes me sad because it could have been so much better. And there's so many little things that I've pointed out that just feels like would have taken them not much dev time to fix. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I struggle with the most.
Hopefully one will be enough. Rodrigo will have prepared the other ingredients by now.
You know, like, I understand dev time and stuff, but there's some things where it's like, man, if they had just made a couple of these things slightly different, would have taken, like, next to no dev time, and it would have been a lot more interesting and better. A lot of the complaints would have been thwarted had they just made a few very minor changes. Which leads me to believe that they knew people would complain about it and they left it in. Which is a bit of a yikes. Yeah, it's a bit too easy, or a bit too early for me to quote English. It's a bit too early for me to comment on its replayability. But it does feel like it's going to have quite a bit. Even from just the arcade mode, I think that'll be fun to play. And being able to replay areas and stuff, but we'll see. That's kind of a Final Fantasy staple, though, staying in the same clothes. That's more of a modern game thing to change your clothes all the time, but in terms of being a Final Fantasy, that's pretty much par for the course. I think Square Enix likes their big characters to keep the same clothes on because it is easier for them to sell them later as a icon and stuff, implement them into other games and sell merch and all that stuff. They just tend to like keeping characters in one specific look.
It's over.
Square's always kind of been that way. Just kind of a stylistic choice on their part. I don't mind that kind of stuff. I can suspend my disbelief. If it looks cool, keep it. It would have been nice if the sashes at least like showed up on my character though. Then there might be a reason to equip the dragon sash over the sash that gives me 2 extra HP. I honestly, if the dragon sash looked cooler, I would 100% equip it. I don't care about the stats. They're so minimal that I would actually just equip what looks the best. This would be the only game, only RPG I've ever played where I would equip the stuff that looks better versus what works better because the stats are so moot. Hello. Goodbye. Yeah, if there was ever a game, if there was ever a Final Fantasy to mess with different outfits, it'd be this one. But they chose not to. That guy got obliterated. I feel bad. Here, Mr. Carrot. Come out and play, Mr. Carrot. Oh, wait.
Kicked out already?
This ain't it.
No. This charmer ain't letting anyone through.
Why are the gates closed?
Chief's orders. No one's allowed in without his say-so. Not that I'd have let you in anyway. You look like trouble. I suggest you go home.
That's what I'm trying to do, you little prick. Ain't changed a bit, have you, Snotty?
No. It isn't. Blackthorn.
Long time no see, eh?
What the hell are you doing here?
Is this the cult of people that talk like this?
Well, it was meant to be a surprise, but since you asked so nicely, I'm here to see Zoltan, you fucking numbskull. Now let us through.
All right.
Do they all talk like this?
Just don't go starting anything with the chief.
Yeah, I promise I won't throw the first punch. That good enough for you?
Go on then.
Much obliged.
Yeah, that's Square Enix's way. They make the first game and everyone looks the same, but then when they make a sequel, they're like, okay, you already know how the characters look, so now we're gonna play dress up. So you have X2 where the literal gimmick of the game is dress up, and then you have like Lightning Returns where it also had like a dress sphere thing going on. So maybe we'll get Final Fantasy XVI too, and we'll be dressing up Clive in different outfits. Yeah, well, what does that tell you, Marsh? That was just so they could sell the cup noodle hats.
So this is Dravosht. Not much going on, is there?
It's a smithing town. When I was a lad, you'd have to shout to be heard over the sound of hammer on anvil. Clive, you're good with people. You speak to Zoltan.
Hey, you ain't backing out now, are you?
There's a river of bad blood between me and the chief. But if someone can build me a bridge, then I'll cross it.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it. He'll be near the forge on the hill. It was our master's. He'd have inherited it when I left.
The forge on the hill.
Good luck. You'll be needing it.
Would you say I was distracted by the chickens?
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn it?
Would you like to see my wares?
The Lion and the Hare.
Go safely now.
Nothing.
Hotter! Hotter, damn it! Those miserable flames wouldn't melt butter, let alone iron.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm looking for the chief.
That'd be me.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll bet it is. Keep the gates closed, I tell him. Well done, Snotty. You're not welcome here. Get out before things turn nasty.
Blackthorn's here.
What did you say?
He's traveled a long way to see you.
Yes, has he?
He's waiting. Down by the gates.
Then I suggest you take him with you when you leave.
I'm telling you.
Didn't you apprentice
It's a
together?
cult of Batman impersonators.
Fuck! We're getting nowhere. These bearers' flames are next to bloody useless.
We're never going to be able to fire up the forges unless we can find some new crystals.
Crystals better work anymore. Or barely work anymore.
And piss off. Oh, and if you're struggling to find your way out, ask Blackthorn. That prick knows exactly where the exit is. He's not wanted here. And neither are you.
All right. I'm going.
I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. Come on, Clive. Isn't it obvious? Help him with the fire and then...
Chief, you've got to do something.
Blah, blah. Isn't that the obvious choice here?
Mama,
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Shut your hole.
Let me guess. Zoltan told you to piss off.
As a personal favor to him, yes.
Well, at least he didn't beat about the bush.
There'll be no talking him round. Not after what I did.
Which is what exactly? If we're to help, we need to know. What turned the village against you?
I left. Dravozd. Zoltan. The burden of leadership our dying master dropped in our laps. All of it. There are two kinds of smiths in this world, you see. My kind, who are in it for the love of the craft, who labour on a single piece from dawn to dusk to get it just right. And the other kind, who are in it for different reasons. People like Zoltan, whose work is quick and cheap. The kind of smiths who shit out a few hundred blades, reap the profit, and divvy it out among themselves. There wasn't a single day we weren't at each other's throats. And bit by bit, people started taking sides. You would have torn Dravozd in half had it gone on. So, I left.
You didn't have to do that.
Zoltan's a better chief than I would have been. His way of doing things kept food on people's tables. Dravozd prospered without me and my lofty ideals getting in the road. Until the crystals run out at any rate. Without magic to fire the furnaces, this place is as good as dead.
It depends on how you look at it, though. There's got to be other ways of making fire. We manage it in the Deadlands.
Try
Thanks
wood.
to Sid's ingenuity, yeah. He saw all of this coming. Knew crystals were the problem, not the solution. And spent years coming up with ways of doing without.
You know what I mean, though, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. What I'm trying to say is that it's not your fault. You couldn't have predicted this.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I don't want to be the greatest smith alive just because I happen to be the last. Clive. Dravozd won't last long without its furnaces. So, do you think it's time we shared Sid's bellows with the world? The way I see it, it's your decision to make.
Hold on, Blackthorn. Sid made those things for us. They give us an edge over the rest. And you'd be throwing it away.
All right. Do it. This place was your home. I won't abandon it to its fate. Sid's creations were never meant to be hoarded. It was only ever a matter of time before we shared them. Let this be another step on the road to freeing Valisthea from the prison of the Crystal's blessing. Dravozd will show the world that it's possible. Wouldn't you agree, August?
When you put it that way, of course. It's like hearing Sid speak from beyond the grave.
Thank you, Clive.
Shall I go and fetch the plans, then?
I know I'm off by heart. I'll be needing some help, though. Building a furnace isn't exactly a one-man job. Do us a favour and round up anyone strong enough to lug a brick or two, would you, August?
All right, then.
And I've got a job for you too, Clive. Finding me some salamander skin. I need leather for the bellows and nothing else will withstand the heat. Luckily for us, salamanders feed out in the fields of Karava.
Time for a spot of hunting, then.
I'm a hunter, I hunt. Yeah, during that cutscene it got really bright and then dark again. Usually it's a good thing, but sometimes during the cutscenes the lighting gets a bit odd. Like the sun just came out and then immediately peeked behind a cloud again. Kinda hurts my eyes sometimes. Hello there.
This would be easy.
Grab a chair. Maybe the sun will come out. I gave him some belly rubs. I don't think I've fought a bighorn that level, but... I don't know if there's any reason to fight every enemy. They should already be in the bestiary. Who could have done this?
Let's make this quick, shall we?
Ow. She's chilling. A real man would have rescued you by now. Good job, Torgal. You did it.
I dare say that will be enough for a decent set of bellows.
It's a shame that I don't really miss Jill in terms of combat. Or Joshua. Like, they don't really... They make a difference if you're paying attention, but in terms of, like, winning or losing a fight, it's not, like, a big deal. Like, it's not like 12, where, like, 12, when you had your guest character, it was like, oh my god, time to go do some hunts while I still have this guest character, you know? Because it made, like, such a big difference. Here, it's just, like, a nice little bonus. Like, they do good damage, especially when there's a lot of enemies. They can kill, like, 2 or 3 enemies while you're fighting something else, but it doesn't necessarily lower the difficulty of the fights. It more of just makes them quicker. Especially, like, big enemies. Big enemies, you don't really see them do much against. But they'll clear out a bunch of small enemies. Like, they do good damage.
Any trouble finding the skin?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
But, you know, Final Fantasy XII guest characters, it was, like, a big deal when you had one. It was make or break some of the hunts.
There should be plenty.
If you had a guest character.
Time to put these louds to work. If everyone pulls their weight, we'll be finished in no time.
Yeah, I feel that, Otaru. I might actually end up doing that when I do Zodiac Age, doing them all when I have guest character.
Well, I'll be damned. I honestly didn't think it'd work. But it's hot enough, all right. And without a single crystal in sight.
You know what this means, don't you?
I do, yeah. Dravost is saved.
Sorry about earlier. Take back everything I said. That thing you built us is an honest-to-God's marvel. You've saved our village.
It's Blackthorn you should be thanking. He oversaw the construction.
Give this to him, would you?
What is it?
Pet Cole's cinders. After he left, I spent years trying to eke the most out of our forges. That there was my answer. Chuck it in the fire, and your forge will burn hotter for longer, which will do wonders for your steel. Our secret for yours. Only fair. I've always envied Blackthorn. Since the day I became chief, I spent every spare moment trying to match up to the bastard. No amount of sleepless nights at the anvil will ever bridge that gap, though. He's a genius, Plain and simple. The man Dravosht needed. But he took all his talent and left. Gifted and free. Is it any wonder I hate his guts?
The cinders would mean more coming from you.
I need to forgive him first. And that's not gonna happen.
Well, you know what they say. Oriflamme weren't built in a day and all that. These things take time. Especially when they involve two geezers who hold grudges tighter than their hammers. But what matters is, Blackthorn's got that twinkle back in his eye. And I'd call that a job well done.
So would I.
I reckon he's going to be at it a while yet, though, so why don't you head off without us? I'll see that the old git gets home safe and sound.
See that you both do. I'll save the cinders till then.
All right. It'll be a nice little surprise for him.
I like this quest because you could actually kind of see his side of it. You know what I mean? You're not... Like, neither one of them is honestly in the right. It's more of just a perspective thing. Blackthorn was in the right to leave, but... what's his name? Was also in the right to be mad at him. It's, like, kind of interesting. I always like when, especially side quests aren't like just a done deal, one person's right, one person's wrong. Oh. Actually, let's do that first. Then I can turn everything in. Where's he at? Whispering Waters. I did not see that anywhere. Aha. Didn't I... I don't remember if I fought something here, or if I found it and was like, hey, this is probably going to be a hunt. I thought I fought another hunt in this spot. Maybe I'm misremembering. Well, these enemies definitely upgraded. They used to be like level 10. Weather's kind of crazy today. It's really humid and hot here. We got all our rain on the weekend, though. Does anyone see a carrot? Oh, that's lame. I wanted to actually, like, see the carrot. Why describe it like that and then not have it actually do the thing? Ooh!
Couldn't have been just any mobile, could it? Right then.
Ba-ba. Imagine if this game had status effects. This might be the only game where bad breath doesn't give you a status effect. I haven't actually gotten hit by it. I'm gonna get hit by it. It did not give me a status effect. I'm shiny though. That's my regen though. This is gonna be big boy damage. I even got it in the limit bar too. 63k. It could at least like drop a thing on the ground or something that does damage if you stand in it or something. Or do like damage over time, even if it's not like an ailment. Oh well. Hey, at least there's these things that he puts on the ground that you have to dodge. But that's not even bad breath, that's his other move. I want to perfect block this, but I'm afraid it's still gonna hurt me. Oh, or it'll just do that. Missed my limit damage. $64k stagger damage. I did more than 60k on both staggers, and this thing didn't die. That's a tanky boy. Ooh. No. I love that. Yeah! He does. Really feels like he's struggling.
That was definitely anything but ordinary. Now, let's get this vine back to the yard.
That was cool, but he literally did the same exact attacks that the other Moorball did. Just like his dive move was longer. And the spit thing, I feel like, did more, put more things on the ground. That was like it. Still a cool fight, though. Super tanky fight.
all said it was an army of Akashi.
Yeah. It's true.
Thank goodness you're back. Taya looks like she's about to collapse.
Is this what you needed?
Yeah, stay safe, Sam.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Clive. I'm loath to give a patient Alicia, but Taya's right. Sometimes it's all we can do. A single dose dulls even the most agonizing pain, and all other sensation with it. It may be a gentle way to die, but it is death nonetheless. I wish there was another way.
I really like these quests, like diving into the difficulties of being a doctor in these scenarios. In a scenario like this.
How are you feeling?
Light, mid-here. Drifting on waves.
Good. Just relax. Let the waves carry you to a better place.
Thank you, Taya. I'm so proud of you.
He's gone. Thank you, Rodrigue. And you, Clive?
I'll see that he's properly laid to rest.
The man you helped today was my mentor, back in the Southern Isles, on the front lines of some meaningless war. I was still a child when they shipped me to their triage tents, to treat the wounded with my gift. But in such blighted lands, I was next to useless. Until he taught me the true physicker's art, that is.
An art we would be lost without.
Tears of mercy were his gift to the bearers of the world. A respite from the agony of the curse's end.
And a kindness Sid would have approved of.
You know as well as I what life is like for a bearer soldier. Marched from one battle to the next, never knowing which might be your last. A commander may care nothing for the bearer spent in his service, but my mentor's gift gave the dying one fleeting moment of tranquility before the end. I've no tears left, Clive. I've seen too many of my friends taken. Something needs to change. And we need to be the ones to change it.
And we will. I promise.
I hope so.
I love how we've been shown, like, each individual person that we've met kind of give us their reason for being here and reason for continuing Sid's journey, you know? Like, Sid picked these people because they fit with his ideals. They're not just random people. At first it felt that way, but we've, like, learned why each person is here, you know? Yeah, we've talked a lot about how good the side quests are in this game. It's really funny because it's a two-sided coin. On the one hand, one side of the coin, it feels like the side quests are really poorly done in terms of the mechanics and gameplay of them, but on the other side of the coin, they're some of the best side quests I've ever played in terms of world building. As the game has progressed, though, I think they have gotten better with the gameplay. Yeah, some of them are still just fetch quests, but fetch quests aren't necessarily bad. They're more of bad when all of them are fetch quests, which in the beginning they kind of were. But now that there's more quests where we're going out and fighting things and fighting special bosses and stuff too, and like the 3 that we fought that were hunts, that has definitely made them better. And even the fetch quests feel better because there's other quests that aren't just fetch quests. At the beginning, they were all fetch quests, so it was like, just felt really meaningless and stupid. And some of the, the characters being like, oh man, we were attacked and I walked for miles and now I'm dying, but go rescue them. And then they're like right around the corner, like just like silly stuff. But as it's gone, I feel like the side quests have gotten a lot better. And also the rewards throughout the entire game have been total poop. Like just totally meaningless rewards that mean nothing. But as the game's gone on, the rewards have gotten better. They're still mostly bad, but some of them have actually been decent, so. I won't say that the side quests have necessarily completely redeemed themselves, but they have definitely gotten better from the start of the game.
Gentlemen.
Speaking of good rewards.
I see you both made it home in one piece.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to outstay our welcome. The whole village turned out for a go on the bellows after you left. Everyone except Zoltan has. Didn't see hide nor hair of him.
Oh, but that reminds me. I have something for you.
Pico Cinder. How'd you come by this? And you're sure he wanted me to have it?
I'm sure. You didn't say so, but I think he wants to forgive you.
Huh. Imagine that. Yeah. You know I could never leave this place, don't you? Every time you put on mail, you and the curse breakers are trusting me with your lives. There's no greater honor for a smith than that. I'm not about to go crawling back to Zoltan for forgiveness, but I will make good use of his cinder. And if that helps save even a single life, then he'll have my gratitude. What was it you said he called me? Huh? A genius? And he spent sleepless night trying to copy me, did he? Sounds like I better get to work. I've got a reputation to uphold.
It's good to see you back on form, Blackthorn.
I don't know how you pair put up with me sometimes, but I'm grateful all the same. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, about to put Zoltan back in his place.
Ain't got the art to tell him how similar they are. Stubborn bastards.
A little healthy competition should be good for him.
You're not wrong. Still, it's a shame him and Zoltan couldn't let bygones be bygones. No use grumbling about it now, though. Blackthorn's happy. Or as near to happy as he gets. And that's good enough for me.
I like how they were able to kind of make a quest where it's not just a goofy, oh, everyone's happy and back together and he forgave him. Like, they kind of said, like, he'll forgive him eventually, but he's not ready yet. And just kind of left it at that. Kind of funny how this game has no viewers. The screen shake effect and the over-the-top spell effects honestly makes this game unwatchable. Not sure what you're getting at there. It's definitely not the spell effects that make this game. There's probably no one watching it because it's a couple weeks old now. This is Twitch. If you want any more than 100 people watching a game, it's got to be the newest game or Fortnite. Or, I mean, it's mostly the person playing it. When a big content creator plays it, it has a lot of views. When they stop playing it, it doesn't. And this game's a couple weeks old now, so the big Twitch content creators aren't playing it anymore. Has nothing to do with the spell effects. This game's pretty loud in terms of the spell effects, but not nearly as loud as a lot of other games this year or past year, like Forbidden West. Even 15 had like louder spell effects than this, I'd say. Those crazy giant magic blasts. Yeah, well, like I said, this is Twitch. The game's a week old, it's already old. Ouroboros.
Trouble with your gear, or... So, what'll it be? Anything else?
I'm confused.
What do I owe the honor? So, what'll it be?
Why is it not? Here. Oh, there it is. Stone Tongue. Okay. Oh, and the son of Ouroboros. A stained loincloth. Sad. That is truly sad. They're trying to like hype it up, be like, oh, you don't even have the stuff for this yet. You got to get even further in the story and fight another big hunt. And then you can finally have this super legendary equipment. So you can get your 6 HP. And your 4 HP. Together you'll have 10 HP. Wow.
And?
He's a surly sook.
Wait, did that igloo person leave? Did he respond to what I said? Or did he just say, kind of funny how this game has no viewers, and then left? Okay. Reminds me of that guy that came in and asked for donations.
Sid, I can't help but notice that your satchel is twitching in a most violent manner.
Yes, please get this thing away from me.
Yeah. It's your problem now.
What an amazing specimen.
Don't say
Flesh
that.
positively throbs with vitality.
Don't say that.
If I can successfully graft this to the Morganbeards... When I successfully graft this to the Morganbeards, I suspect the results will be immediate. I shall begin at once.
I just wanted to show up to let you know that no one's watching this game. Alright, see ya.
It is just as I hoped. Witness how the Morganbeards have taken to the blighted soil. How they bloom with heretofore unseen vigor. Why, I dare say such a vine graft would yield similar results when applied to other specimens as well.
I'm glad I could be of assistance.
Yeah, well, someone is watching this game. My friends are watching this game.
Do you recall the extract with which I provided you before?
And that's
It took a
why I'm
moment
here.
to distill some more, but this time with the petals from the invigorated Morganbeards. And would you believe? Its potency has nearly doubled.
Doubled?
You must accept this vial as thanks for your assistance. The rest, I shall give to Taya.
Don't. She's sleeping. Don't wake her up. Holy crap, I got so much experience. I got like a ton from the Morball too. A ton from turning in the quest. maximized. There you go, that's our last one. I mean, I kind of figured it was. So I kind of like, instead of doing potion, high potion, X potion, etc., they just have potion and high potion, and they just increase the potency of them throughout the game. So that all the potions you grab throughout the game aren't meaningless. That's a cool idea. The only issue is you can only carry like 6 anyway, so it's not like you're ever gonna... It's not like you're stockpiling them throughout the whole game. But still, I like that idea. Could have been even better in like a game where you actually do stockpile items. Like, imagine if in Final Fantasy VII, if potions became high potions instead of just, by the end of the game, you have 99 potions sitting in your inventory that do nothing. It's kind of a cool idea. Stretch that satchel.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts?
Clutch Mine. 2,500 ability points.
Here you are.
I can't wait to spend those on
for ya.
nothing. Actually, do I have any of my... Are any of my equipped abilities not leveled up? Did I just say equipped? The heck is wrong with me? I mean, I can master these, but there's no reason to master them. Could do that. Could do that. Yeah, I tried Bahamut. I did not enjoy it. I may eventually use Giga Flare, but I prefer Judgment Bolt at the moment. Outside of test mode? No. I had no reason to. Alright, I guess it's time to actually go save our girlfriend now. Enough beating around the bush. I'm gonna save her and she's gonna be like, what took you so long? I'm gonna be like, look at this belt, it gives me 2 HP.